Welcome back, my dear students of class 8. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will be discussing the exercises of lesson number 7, nervous system. So first question of this exercise, that why do we need a nervous system? Exercise A, first question. The answer to this question is that we need a nervous system in order to keep us aware of our surrounding through our sense organs, and it will help us think, learn and remember, and also control and regulate our voluntary and involuntary activities. Is it clear? Then question number 2 of the same exercise, describe the structure of a neuron with the help of a label diagram. So diagram is given on page number 80. So this is the diagram that you have to draw in your copy, a well labeled diagram. Please use a pencil and no colors for this, and don't use a pen. Is it clear? And explain the neuron. Then the next question, that is, neurons transmit messages from the brain and spinal cord. The question is, what is the function of a neuron and what is the role of synapse? So neurons transmit messages from the brain and spinal cord to the different organs and vice versa. That is, the neurons transmit messages from the different organs back to the brain and spinal cord. Then the message, that is nerve impulse from the axon of one neuron, is transmitted to the dendrite of another neuron through the synapse. So this is the answer for the role of synapse. Next question is, what are nerves and what are the functions of all three types of nerves? So nerves are bundle of nerve fibers, in bracket axons, enclosed in a medullary sheath. Is that clear? Enclosed in a medullary sheath. And sensory nerve carry impulses from the sense organ to the brain or spinal cord, and motor nerve carry impulses from the brain or spinal cord to the muscle or glands, and the mixed nerves contain both sensory and motor fibers. Is it clear? Next question, that is, explain stimulus, response, impulse, receptor and effector with the help of an example. So when we touch a hot utensil, we immediately move our hand. Here heat is the stimulus. What is a stimulus? In the bracket you will write, it is a detectable change in the environment, and the skin cell that receives the stimulus is the receptor. What is the receptor? A cell or tissue that receives and detects the stimulus. The electrical signal that takes the message from the skin cell to the brain through nerve is the impulse, and the brain reads the signal and sends a command to the muscles of the hand, denote the effector, and we move the hand immediately. This is the response. Is it clear? Then exercise B. The question is, describe the structure of the brain, write the function of its part. So first you will draw the diagram and then you will describe the functions of its part, and along with the structure of the brain. That is, the three parts you will label: cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. In the description, that is, the brain is a delicate organ protected by the bony box in the skull called the cranium. Then it is surrounded by three membranes, that is meninges, pia mater, arachnoid mater and dura mater, and the space between this is filled with a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. The brain has three parts. Please change it. This is parts: cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Cerebrum is the largest and most complex part of the brain, divided into two halves called cerebral hemispheres. Is it clear? Please correct the spelling of cerebral over here. It includes an R, BRAL, which has been missed out. Is it clear? The outer portion of the cerebrum contains the grey matter and the inner one contains the white matter. It controls all the voluntary activities of the body and responsible for thinking, memory, etc. Then the cerebellum is a small part of the brain located at the back of the head under the cerebrum. It is responsible for balance of a body. It should be off over here. Please check this. And it regulates and coordinates muscular activities. Then the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is the posterior part of the brain which joins brain to the spinal cord. It controls the involuntary activities of the body and is a regulating center for swallowing, coughing, etc. Is it clear? The next question is, differentiate between cranial and spinal nerves. Now generally I asked you to draw a column, but I am writing this on one side you can write the cranial nerves, and in the second column you can write the spinal nerves. Is that clear? Although I have not divided over here, so you can just divide the page into two and then write about the spinal and cranial nerves. Is it clear? So for under the cranial nerve column, you will write cranial nerves are nerves that arise from the brain. They are spread in the head region and are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. In the spinal nerve column, you will write spinal nerves arise from the spinal cord. Is that clear? They spread throughout the body except the head, and there are 31 pairs of spinal nerve. Is it clear? Next question is describe the spinal cord, write its function. So you will draw this diagram on page number 84, and then the description of the spinal cord, that it is a long, narrow and cylindrical cord like structure, and a cross section of the spinal cord shows two similar halves fused together to form a small canal in the center called the central canal, which is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. The grey matter is present in the center. It is an H-shaped region, outer portion of the white matter. Outer portion is the white matter. What are the function? That it controls reflex action, it conducts messages from the muscles and skin. Is that clear? To the brain, and spinal cord also conducts messages from the brain to the muscles of the limbs and trunk. Is it clear? So this reflex action, you will write the definition: a quick and automatic response to a stimulus controlled by the spinal cord is called the reflex action, and then you will make this flow chart of the reflex action. Is that clear? It is given on page number 86. Is it clear? This is given on page number 86. Please remember the page number if the figure is not very clear. Is it clear? 87, I beg your pardon, and along with that you will draw the diagram to show a reflex action and its part, that is figure 7.6. Is that clear? So you will draw both the diagrams, that is this particular flow chart and the diagram I am showing to you. So this diagram will also be drawn along with question number 3, B part. B part, question number 3. Is it clear? So next question, that is differentiate between natural reflexes and conditioned reflexes. That is, natural reflexes are reflexes that do not need any previous experience. They are present since birth. Examples are blinking of eyes, coughing. Whereas conditioned reflexes are reflexes which have been developed by training and learning. Example are dancing and swimming. Next question is, with the help of a suitable example, explain how conditioned reflexes are acquired. Now here you can give the example of salivation, that is when we chew or eat food, salivation occurs. This is a natural reflex. Sometimes salivation occurs at the sight or smell of tasty food as a response. Our brain remembers the smell and taste from previous experience and works involuntarily. This is a conditioned reflex. Is it clear? Now this is exercise C. Look at the given picture and answer the following question. This is the picture of the motor neuron, and the function of this motor neuron is also given in the PDF that I have provided to you. That is, the motor neuron does what? It carries the impulses from the brain or spinal cord to the muscle or gland. Is that clear? So this is the picture of the motor neuron. Is it clear? Now look at the given picture B. This is figure B, and label the different parts of the human brain on the basis of the given observation. Now damage to this part can lead to blindness even though eyes are working properly. Just because what part is controlled by this? That is, sense organs are controlled by the cerebrum. So this is the cerebrum. Is that clear? And a person might not be able to ride his bicycle again after fall due to damage to this part. This is the cerebellum. This is the cerebellum which controls the balance of our body. Is that clear? In jogging, cycling, walking, swimming, all these activities. Is it clear? Now a boy walks barefoot in his room and accidentally steps on a pin lying on the floor. Immediately moves his foot away. Give reason for the response. This is because of reflex action. Is that clear? So for C part 3, it is due to reflex action. Is it clear? Now next is When you see or smell tasty food that you have earlier eaten, your mouth may start watering, but when you see food that you have tasted earlier, watering of the mouth does not occur, that you have not tasted earlier. Is that clear? Name the part of the nervous system involved in a response. Yes, which part of the nervous system is involved in a response? Yes, please try to do this on your own. Why is the response different in both the situation? One is the conditioned. It is the first one is what? It is the acquired reflex. The first one is acquired reflex or conditioned reflex. Is that clear? And the second one is natural. Is it clear? Name the stimulus in the above action. What is the stimulus in the above action? Yes, it is the taste and smell. Is that clear? This taste and smell are the stimuli. Now name the part of the nervous system involved in a response. It is the brain. The response is to the brain. Now please revise the chapter and complete this exercise and draw all the diagrams. Biology test will be on the 20th of January. Is it clear? Please revise it and complete all the written work. Allah Hafiz.